Hi Tubies, here's Alexandra, and welcome to my next video. Well, quite some time ago, you might remember, I created this, dungeon tiles here with the Hearst art molds and glued them on cork plates to make a modular dungeon. And I did this because I wanted to develop a dungeon crawler game in the likings of Warhammer Quest and Hero Quest and so on. But things didn't work out that good in the end, and so I cancelled the project. But since the last few weeks, I have watched carefully the Kickstarter campaign from Mantic about the Dungeon Saga, dungeon crawler game, and well, boy, I was overwhelmed by the amount of people that actually want to have a dungeon crawler game so badly. The last minutes of the Kickstarter campaign went nuts, and they managed to go totally overboard from the $50,000 pledge they wanted to have in the first place. They ended up with over $1 million, and this is sheer amazing. And so I give it a new thoughts about rules of a dungeon crawler game, because let's face it, Dungeon Saga, the good it will be, we don't know, and also it will come out in about a year, and so the people are craving their nails into the tables because they want to play, and so I want to develop here a little side project, rules for the dungeon crawler game on my own. So, in order to have a good working system, you need to have a combat system that is, well, easy to understand and, still developable. So you can build on it. It mustn't be too easy, but not too hard either. So, I came up with the following ideas. So, your normal hero miniatures, like here, for example, the Barbarian, then here you have the Wood Elf Archer, or here the Dwarf Hero. They all have basic stat lines. So I have written some down here. The basic stat lines are movement, close combat, defense, range attack, initiative, and wounds. So, for example, here you see then the Barbarian, Dwarf, and Elf. Barbarian movement 5, close combat 4, defense rating of 3, range attack 0, initiative 4, and wounds 4. And here we have some stat lines for basic monsters. And it works that way. So, for example, let's see here a zombie, the lowest enemy in the game. He would have, let's see, close combat 1, defense of 1, range attack 0, initiative of 1, and 1 wound. So basically he is no real threat. And then you have here your Barbarian, and the two will fight. And it works that way. The one with a higher initiative goes first. In that case, the Barbarian. So the Barbarian has 4 dice for his attacks, and he needs to beat the defense rating of the zombie, and the defense rate of the zombie is 1. So basically every hit that he will inflict will wound the zombie, and well, the zombie would be dead. On the other hand, the zombie can defend. You can, each attack that you have in your profile, can you choose to not roll in your attacking phase as an attack. Instead, you can roll that as a defense dice. So, for example, the zombie, obviously just one attack, could roll and would have cancelled out one of the attacks, like, for example, this here. and only 3 hits come through. But in any case, the zombie would be dead. So let's see, for example, a more tougher opponent. Let's say the orc here. The orc would have a much higher defense than the skeleton. So in that case, the barbarian might want to consider to split his attacks and say he rolls 2 dice for defense and 2 dice for offense. The defense of the orc would be 4, and so when the barbarian attacks, the initiative of the orc would be 3, and so the barbarian strikes first, he rolls, and 2 misses. So now the orc is, with his attacks, he has 3 attacks, he rolls. This was cooked, okay. So the defense of the barbarian is 3, so all 3 attacks hit, and now the barbarian rolls for his defense because he has kept 2 of his dice as defense rolls. So, and he manages to deflect 1, and so he suffers 2 wounds. So this orc would be a tough opponent for the barbarian. This works also if you have multiple opponents. For example, you have here 3 skeletons. You could say instead of attacking 1 skeleton with 4 attacks, he could say, okay, I attack 1 skeleton with 1 attack, the next skeleton with 1 attack, and the third skeleton with 1 attack, and the last is a defense dice for eventual survivors. So he attacks the first skeleton with a defense of 2. Skeleton dead. Next skeleton is dead. Third skeleton is also dead. So you see, that is the way how the close combat should work in this system. Now it's your turn. What do you think of this system? Obviously the stat lines are not 100% perfect, so bear in mind that this is just a rough sketch. But what do you think of this system? Also keep in mind this system is ready to be built up upon. So in some cases, for example here, this was just a example for rolling, but normally the barbarian would suffer a -1 penalty to hit because he's outnumbered. So normally the defense of the skeleton would be 2, but in this case it would be 3 for that, because he suffers -1 penalty. So the defense of 1 from the zombie, for example, is well, raised up if there are multiple zombies on the field, and for example 4 zombies are crouching in on 1 barbarian, for example. So that makes them then a threat again. Also, if you level up or get magical items, you could maybe boost up your dice from a D4 to maybe from a D6 to a D8 or D10 or D12. So to increase the chances on rolling higher numbers by just simply raising the dice. So also equipment comes into handy. For example, the dwarf obviously wears a heavy armor and shield that raises his defense volume, and in the other way around, he is lowered by his initiative, so he is quite slow, but he is quite tanky. Then we have here the elven archer. Obviously he has range attacks. Same goes for him. He could roll, for example, for his range attack, he has 4 dice. He could roll to hit 1 opponent with all 4 dice and kill him, but he could also split his attacks and say he fires 2 arrows at 1 skeleton and the next 2 arrows at the orc, or for example. So, tell me what you think about this combat system, and well, we see us then in the next video. You're Alexandra.